Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today is Thursday, December 4th, and tomorrow is Friday. We know what that means in the options world. It's going to be a very crazy day, and we can make some big-time money on the weeklies, of course. Also planning out the S&P 500 and other trades. You might want to be in there tomorrow. It's going to be an important day. Okay, let's get right to it. We're going to take a look at Facebook here. Facebook is deciding what it's going to do. It just doesn't have that decision made yet, but it is through the middle Bollinger Band, which is very, very important, and over the 100-day moving average, which is even more important. Beating those two is very good. See if we can get some volume tomorrow to get this move to the upside. The only thing, watch the stochastics starting to turn a little bit. The volume is not huge coming into this. As you can see, it's just so-so. So there's no real direction yet, but we do have this upper gap. We still really want to get this closed. We have a low here, we have a higher low here. If we can maintain this higher low, then we have a 2-week run coming, or a 1-week run. We'll have to wait and see, but join us and you will see. Twitter. It went outside the box and then back in the box again today. So Twitter is actually, I think it's right under the box right now. Let me move that up a little bit higher. There we go. So it's right under the box right now. So we have to be careful here. We got to watch these wicks now at this point. If we don't regain this tomorrow, it is very oversold. The relative strength index is at 38. It's still bottoming out here and consolidating, but just like Netflix did, it did the same thing, except for Netflix was down first, then came up, but then broke out of the box again and came to the downside. So we have to be careful here, because if we do fall, we're going to come down to 36.70, and then that'll be our low and bounce off of that. So let's keep a close eye on this. Either we ride the puts or they start rocking this to the upside. We will see, but if you're in the chat room, you will know when it's happening instead of chasing it. All right, Netflix, as I was saying, Netflix. So here's the consolidation box that it was in, and once it broke the box, you could see how heavy it got, and then started heading down again. Okay, it made a higher low here, which is pretty good. It's made a nice little move to the upside, very small. Had a little bit of resistance coming into this area over here. We pulled back down a little bit today. We're going to have to see what this one does tomorrow. Relative strength index is at 36. It's very oversold. Kind of just chilling with the stochastics. Nothing spectacular. And the volume selling was very low compared to these other candles here. So it could be just a head fake going into options day tomorrow, where we can make a lucrative trade. So we'll have to see. PCLN, another one. Want to keep an eye on for tomorrow. But be in the chat room, because we'll be trading this one live. This one has a low here, higher low here, higher low here. It's a good trend to the upside, but it has resistance on the upside. And this thing isn't really lined up perfectly, but you can see, this is the trend line up here. But zooming in a little bit for tomorrow's trade, it's going to be an important one. And what I need you to take note of is the middle Bollinger Band, okay, and the lower part of this box is going to be a resistance. So if we do pop up tomorrow, if this breaks 115071, expect this to fly up to the upside, and you could even get 1176 tomorrow. If not, we will be under the middle Bollinger Band, and we're going to test this line tomorrow at 1110, 1115, somewhere in that, 1108, somewhere in that area. But we are, middle Bollinger Band, relative strength index is in the middle area, about 47. Nothing spectacular, so it's going to make a decision tomorrow. And if you're in live chat, you will be part of that decision. If not, we'll see you on the other side. That's for sure. So keep an eye on PCLN, and just a little hint for you. Make sure you drop down to the hourly in the morning, so you could see here what your relative strength index is at. It's at 47. You can see how it came into some resistance here, pulled back down, and has some support right here. So, but your stochastics starting to turn to the downside. So I would say that based on the hourly trend, we're heading down. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. But we do have this nice support right here. All right. So let's move on. Let's switch this back first, and then we will move on. Whoops, that's the weekly. We don't want to get into that because that's just ugly. Yeah, well, actually, we might as well. All right, so see how the weekly is here. You have candle. This is red out of the box. Here's your support line. So you can see here that we could actually end up 1117, 1108. If it breaks this trend line, we go lower. So let's go back to daily and get on to our next chart. But we'll handle that one tomorrow also. Google has been a player for us. It's doing very well. Nice and fun, and my computer is slow. But you could see the trend line. I said we were going to come up to this trend line. Look at that. Isn't that amazing how that works? Are we always right? I don't know. But we're right on this one. So look for the trend line to be hit tomorrow. If this is broken tomorrow, then you're going to see big volume pushing this to the upside, okay? Because right now it's just in this full downtrend pattern. Keep an eye on this, very important tomorrow. So if we hit this and do not get through it on volume, you could kiss it goodbye. But take note of your stochastics, okay? When you're down here, look what happens, okay? So we could get this break and start getting the mountain. If we get this mountain, we're going to get a big move, same way we did over there. So we're looking for that break right here. If it doesn't break down, if it breaks, we're going to go up. But you have the low here and a higher low here. So let's keep an eye on Google for that nice trade because it's going to be fun. Baba. All right, Baba. And we are on the daily for Baba and had some resistance here in the middle Bollinger Band. Let's get rid of that. That's an old signal. Had some resistance up in this area here. Came up and closed the gap perfectly. Pulled back down again and is back to selling off again. So look for 106 to be some kind of support, but more along the lines of 100. It is in a downtrend pattern right now. It is not in an uptrend pattern. So we will ride this to the downside until this line is broken. Okay. If that line breaks, then we're going to the upside. It's that simple. Relative strength index 51 heading down. Your average true range is heading down, and your stochastics is about to cross over again at the same time. Excuse me. One more here, Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's been a wild trader. It always is, but enjoyable. So as you can see, we've been marking this one out for quite some time. We had that pattern here on the downtrend. Let's get rid of that. And the pattern was broke. It tried to recover it today. It did not recover it today. The 200's in the way big time now. But the relative strength index is at 37. So looks like we're going to test a little bit lower before we test higher. If we do get some volume tomorrow on a bounce, look for the trend line to be your target. Okay, trend line to be your target, definitely. So keep an eye on that, and you can see we're leveling off here on the stochastics, and it's about to it's about to do something. But tomorrow's Friday, so we could be blown up to the upside. So we'll have to see what happens. Or we're going to get a punch to the downside and move on with that day. All right, this is Matt. If you're not a member, remember it is holiday special time, $6.99. You can't beat it. Everybody's taking advantage of the offer, and there's a reason for it. It is going to end soon. Listen, you need to buy your wife a new ring for Christmas, or your girlfriend something really nice, or wives out there, you need to buy your husband a brand new car, preferably a Mercedes. And you also need Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio.com to do that. All right? So don't waste any time. Click on the link on the video. Join up today, and you're going to make 2015 the greatest year you've ever had. All right, everyone. Have yourself a great night. We'll see you over in chat.